There's a max wrist there. I got thinking last night about a couple different things about motorcycles and why we ride motorcycles and why we buy what we ride. And I got watching a video, and this video is why this guy doesn't ride Harley Davidson motorcycles as an American rider. And hopefully I've got some Italian viewers out there, because I want their opinion of if they have a love for, say, Harley Davidson or the Indian product or the Polaris products, and why Europeans don't love American motorcycles, or they do love them. You know, what makes us tick basically as motorcyclists. Because I love my Italian motorcycle. I've owned Hondas and Suzuki's and basically all the Japanese brands. I've owned one at some point. And you know, it just makes me really question why the Americans don't know the Aprilia brand. And to me, this is one of the most brilliantly designed motorcycles that certainly I have ever owned. It's just a great all-around rider. If I just want to hop on and go for a ride and it's warm out, this is my preference. And I have that FJR 1300 in the garage, and I like my FJR. But why would I choose this over a powerful, bigger, you know, more capable highway bike? Because this is 90% of my riding is roads like this. I'm going to go out and enjoy a beautiful, windy back road. Generally, I'm a fair weather rider. I don't like riding in the rain. I have ridden in the rain, and I have to say my hats is off to those guys that say they love riding in the rain. I've had motorcycles hydroplane before. It's a scary feeling, you know. It's like riding on ice. But I really question the American rider on not giving a fair shot to some of these Italian brands of motorcycles. You know, one of the motorcycles I've been looking at, you know, to me, one of the neatest bikes on there is an MV Agusta Brutale. And I don't know why I've never seen one going down the road. I didn't see an Aprilia all summer, and I rode quite a few miles this summer. And, you know, I saw lots of everything else, but I did not see one Italian motorcycle on the road this summer. And usually I see several Ducatis, and I didn't see a Duck this summer. And you know, Ducati builds beautiful motorcycles, and I'm just flabbergasted why American riders don't get the Italian brands. You know, and it goes back to, you know, when I was younger, of course, the old say, oh, Italian motorcycles, they're not reliable. You know, and they're thinking back to the 50s and 60s, you know, Italian brands. Oh, we got a couple of Harley riders there. Yeah. They're smart. They got leather on and wind protection. We're at 64 degrees, so the motorcycles definitely aren't in droves. That's the third and fourth motorcycle I've seen today. But I just don't get the American riders not understanding Aprilia. And, you know, it's got the GP heritage to it. You know, they were known to be a race bike. They didn't always just build race bikes. You know, obviously this is not a race bike. It's got race heritage to it. So it's a spicy engine for a 750. It's definitely adequate for a 750 V-twin. I watched a video of a guy last night that called this an L-twin. An L-twin is Ducati. This is a V-twin. And they tilt that engine further forward to make it an L-twin is basically what it is. So Ducati might have it up on Aprilia in this style of bike, particularly as far as that weight distribution goes. Some people say, oh, this bike is top heavy. I think it's pretty nimble. To me, it doesn't feel ridiculously top heavy, but it does have the soulful V-twin Italian sound, and that was one of the reasons, you know, I got this. There's a reason they call this bike the Shiver. I mean, it'll stand up when you want it to. I mean, for a 750. I've ridden faster 750s, but they were inline 4 16-valve engines. And, of course, they weighed more than this bike did. And when I bought this, I just kind of wanted a light, nimble, everyday rider. Something that doesn't beat the heck out of you when you go ride it. It's got adequate suspension. I wouldn't say it's the best suspension I've ever ridden, but it's just darn good. Everything about this bike, I think, is quality and good. It was not an inexpensive motorcycle when it was new compared to... You basically could have bought a Harley Sportster stripped down model for this, you know, amount of money. So if you certainly could have bought an 883 for this price. I think you could have gotten a 1200 for this price. And I think this bike retailed for $8,000 in 2009. $79.99 comes to mind. And to me, that was a good value, because Italian bikes have always been known to be expensive, you know, and it's, a lot goes back to, yeah, you didn't see me. And flash my lights at them. That's the great Aprilia. Their passing indicator here allows you to blink your lights. And it's just a simple trigger of the finger, and I'm signaling, and of course I was on the brakes and ready for them to pull out. You're always looking for those bikes or those cars to pull out. Really, those cage guys don't see bikes. You don't ride, you don't see them. And but it just blows my mind that Americans don't know Aprilia. You know, some of them know Ducatis. I ran into a really nice guy riding a Harley. He looks at this bike and what is it? It's an Aprilia. I've never heard of it before. Now, this guy's been riding, obviously, for quite a few years, because he didn't have an entry-level Harley Davidson. And I didn't get into a conversation of how long he's been riding. He looked experienced, you know. He's looked like he did some road-worn miles. And he's driving a fairly new CVO. I think it was a couple-year-old CVO Harley. I mean, this bike had to have been 40,000 plus his modifications that he did to it. So he probably was close to, you know, $45,000-$50,000 into this bike. Now, obviously, if you can afford that on a Harley Davidson, and you know, that's what turned him on, you know, that was the bike he wanted, obviously, to put that kind of money into it. You know, he would have to know something about Harley Davidsons to spend that kind of dollar on it. And one of the things that blows my mind is, okay, Americans don't know the Italian brands real well. You know, even Ducati here, you know, for being as big as that there are, most people really don't know the Ducati brand. You know, they look at it and it's like, you know, and it's kind of like, you know, I say it's the two-wheeled equivalent to maybe a Ferrari. It's a nice bike. You know, Aprilia's, you look at the Tuono. That thing is just monstrous. It makes tons and tons of power. And there really is no reason that bike does not sell better and have a larger dealer network in the United States, other than it's something in the marketing or the American mindset. You know, the Japanese, of course, sell the most amount of bikes of anybody in the United States. So why aren't they selling here? So if anybody has any input on that, I'd like to hear from you, you know, and leave some comments for me. If you haven't had a chance to click the like and subscribe button, take the time to do that. Make sure you click the bell too to receive notifications of new videos as they're released. And if you haven't had a chance to get to my Gary Sinise Foundation fundraiser page, definitely take that opportunity to go to that fundraiser, take a look at it. If you can kick up $1 or $2, I definitely would appreciate it to help those veterans and first responders along and my fundraising goal. And we're looking to get 100 subscribers, and we're at 50 right now, so all those subscriptions are greatly appreciated to all the people that have subscribed and watch my videos. Get out there and ride today. It's a great day for it.